So I mentioned before how I'm not a full-time videographer or photographer, and I'm just kind of making these tutorials, making these videos in my spare time when I have fun. And although I could try to go full-time if I really wanted to, I have reasons I don't, right? I don't want the stress in my life of trying to make ends meet, and if a gig doesn't come in, then I gotta take a gig that I may not want to. But one of the other big reasons for me is the fact that I can take my family on trips that otherwise I wouldn't be able to do. For instance, you may see this water, where am I pointing? And this boat back here. Well, those aren't mine, right? The water obviously not mine. That boat definitely ain't mine because boats are money pits, ain't gonna happen. But it's because I can go to places like this. This is Split, Croatia. And if I was trying to do photography full time, it's not that I wouldn't be able to take my family here, but it makes it more difficult trying to do that because I'm gonna have to try to make up the money for this versus if I have a full-time job. Sorry, some of these waves down here, the boats are coming in, they start getting a little bigger and my gear is right here. Had me worried for a minute. It's not bad having a full-time job and just doing photography on the side. And we get too caught up in, we've gotta make a career out of it, and we let our pride and our ego get in the way that we start thinking too much about ourselves versus what could be done in the future for our families and things like that because we're so focused on what we want that we don't focus on those around us. Don't take this as you shouldn't be doing it full time. Just take this as this is just what works for me. But this is one of the reasons I am able to go to these places, you know, every other year, once a year, because I choose to give my family these experiences versus having that pride and having that selfishness of me, it's all about what I want. I want my wife to be able to enjoy these beautiful places. I want my kids to be able to go to these beautiful places, and I want to be able to go to these beautiful places. Don't get me wrong, I also have a full-time job that I don't hate because I get to work from home. So that's like 90% of the battle that makes it easy right there. Yes, the job's not terrible, and I get to stay at home and be around my family all the time. So it's not like I'm missing out on family time because I'm working, you know, a job 8 to 5 and then have an hour commute or anything. You got to think of 2 weeks or 10 days, a week, however long you're going, worth of work that's not coming in because you decide to go do this. Like, there's a lot to it when you work for yourself. And I do think working for yourself is a great idea. I think the government has tried to make it near impossible for us to work for ourselves nowadays. If I was younger and single, sure, I could go for it because it would just be me and that's it, right? But now that I'm pushing 30, I've got a kid, I've got another one on the way, and I've been married for 7 years, you get to the point where it's like, those are gonna take priority over what I want in my life because your family is more important than what you want, right? You need to take care of your family first. And that's why I'm like, you know what? Yeah, sure, cool. Doing it full time, it would be great, but I also don't wanna give this up, right? I don't wanna give up going to these places. You know, you see how beautiful it is over here. See these trees lined up? And you got this old church building here, and then we go down here, and you can kind of see, you see this other little thing, kind of looks like a church steeple pulling up. That's the palace. It's right behind those buildings. The thing's been there since like, I think the 12th century or something like that. If somebody knows, like, comment below and correct me. But that's why I'm not doing it full time. You might have other reasons you want to do it full time, and if you have those, drop them below because I'd love to hear it. Or if you have reasons you don't think you should go full time, and maybe it's the same as me, drop them below because I'd love to hear your comments. And if you're a person that's not afraid of taking the risk, go ahead and take that risk and go full time and see what you make of it. And that's what I'm saying for like younger people that are out there that may think about taking it where it's not that big a risk, go for it. But if you're like me and you have a bunch of responsibilities, it might not be the right time to do it. Right now, it might be focusing on YouTube work and all that while I have time and just kind of slowly pushing that. But let me know what you think below. Let me know if you think you should be going full time, if you're gonna push to go full time more, or if you're okay working a 9 to 5 and just doing it on the side, taking the gigs you want and enjoying your time with your family or whatever you have going on, and then just, you know, taking a couple weeks out of the year to, you know, go visit places like this. And yeah, there's a bunch of cruise lines here too. So let's take a cruise and come to Croatia and see what that's all about. That might be fun. Go to some different places along the coast of Croatia, maybe like Zadar, Split, and then Dubrovnik, whatever it might be. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it, and I sure enjoyed making it. If you made it this far, I appreciate you hanging out with me for a little bit while I'm sweating to death because it's about 94 degrees out Fahrenheit, and I'm sitting right in the sun on this bright concrete right here. So thanks for joining me. But now I think it's time to go get some gelato. So I'll see y'all later.